everyone. So today I wanted to do a video pretty much answering a question that I have been asked many times, and as you can tell from the title, it is why I want to save my first kiss. So obviously you can tell I've never had my first kiss, and I am 22 years old, and that's okay. The journey of saving my first kiss, it didn't start out for the reasons that I have now, I'll be honest with you. Growing up in like middle school and high school, and everyone was like having like their first kiss and all this stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, you know, whenever I have a boyfriend, I will have my first kiss. And that never really happened. I never really dated. So all throughout high school, I was just like, okay, whenever I get into my first relationship, that's when I'll have my first kiss. And I never did. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna, whenever it happens, it happened. So then when I got to college, you all know that my relationship with God got deeper. I really was in my word, and my faith got stronger. So my reason for wanting to save my first kiss began to change. Now, I'm not going to really get into the whole courting and all that stuff. Why? Because I'm still trying to figure it out, understand it, and it's super confusing in the Christian world, as you all know. My reason for wanting to save it, especially now, is because as a young adult, something that's pretty common among Christians is struggling with lust and our flesh. So for me, I didn't want to let that be a distraction in any form of courtship. The Bible doesn't say, oh, you cannot kiss someone before marriage and all that stuff. It doesn't say that specifically. For me, it's personal. So it can get pretty complicated. And the reason why I wanted to save my first kiss, because I didn't want to sit in my mind, or if anything, go further. So if you are in my situation or not, or thinking about it, questioning it, not really sure what to do about it, a verse that I relate to is 1 Corinthians 6 verse 18, and it says, flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a person commits are outside the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body. Now, I'm not saying that kissing is going to lead to that. I'm gonna say that I don't. But like I said, I don't know what my limits are, and I don't want to start kissing and then all of a sudden my thoughts go left and I can't stop. Now, obviously, it's different for everyone. From what started out of just like never having had a boyfriend, or then what turned into fear of being a terrible kisser. Another reason is when courting or in a relationship, you definitely don't want any distractions that can draw you away from what God is telling you about a person, or anything like that. What you realize is that there's so much more than the physical in a relationship, especially if this is someone that you plan on spending the rest of your life with. You want to make sure that the signs are clear, and sometimes kissing can be a distraction to that. Obviously, it's something fun and great, but it can also cloud your judgment when it comes to classifying if this is someone that you do want to spend the rest of your life with. It could prolong being in a relationship that you shouldn't be in. There's so much more than being physical in a relationship, but actually getting to know a person, spending time together to really see who they are outside of the physical, so that you can really allow God to show you if this person is right for you or not. My reasons are my reasons. I'm not sitting here and saying that if you have kissed, or if you decide to kiss, that you are a bad person or you're doing wrong. No, it's all up to you. Just make sure that you're not giving in to your flesh and lust and all that stuff. And for me, I just know that I don't think that I would be able to. So if I already know I can't and my mind is going to go left, I'm not even going to test the waters. Like, I'm not going to test the limits. I'm not going to test out the waters, because I don't need to. I don't want to have to face and suffer the consequences. I'll just wait And when God shows me who the right person is, go from there. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm not saying that it's right. But all I'm saying is, in the Bible, it just says flee from sexual immorality. And if you feel like in your thoughts, and if you feel like kissing can lead to more things like sex, then I'd really just try to stay away from it and focus on getting to know or courting and getting to know the spiritual and the other aspects of the person, just so you make sure that you are with the right one. People have called me crazy. People have said, what, you are totally missing out. What if he's a bad kisser and you marry him? Well, I really wouldn't know because I never had my first kiss. And even if you have had your first kiss, and even if you've kissed before, you can make that decision to not want to, and that's perfectly fine. It's a decision that you make for yourself. I want to protect my purity, and I want to protect my future spouse's purity as well. So it's not even just for me, but even if I am able to handle kissing and he's not, I'm not going to suggest that we do that because I want to protect his purity. I don't want his thoughts to go left, and I don't want him to sin in his thoughts and in his flesh just because of me. You become one. And in order to do that, you also have to take in consideration giving up self, not thinking about yourself constantly, but thinking about the other person. So it's not about just protecting your purity, but it's protecting their purity as well. And a verse that I love with that is Romans 14 verses 13. It says, "Therefore let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in the way of a brother or sister." So, I mean, obviously this is not your brother or sister that I'm talking about, but I love this verse because just because you feel like it's okay for you, if you know that kissing is a struggle or a stumbling block for the person that you are with, then don't force them or think that it's okay to want to do that. If that's a deal breaker for you, then maybe that's not a relationship that you should be in. But if you're willing to really, if you know that this person is really a person that you love and care for and want to be with, then pray about it together and make that decision of saying, you know what, I understand that this is a struggle for you, so I'm not going to let it be a stumbling block. I'm not going to be a hindrance with your faith and tempt you. So think about yourself, yes, and protecting your purity, but also think about the other person and how it is for them. Have this conversation. Don't just be like, okay, I'll just wait till it happens, because that can lead to a lot of confusion. But yeah, have that conversation, talk about it, and go from there. Honestly, pray about it. If it's something that you feel like you are at a crossroads at, definitely pray and allow God to show you which path to take. However, if you already are at a crossroads and you're not sure, most likely that could mean that you probably are not ready. This video is probably really choppy because I stopped, and it's awkward when you talk about personal stuff. It really is. But I hope this was helpful. Definitely leave any comments, any questions, any thoughts, anything that you would like to share in the comments section below, or you can email me at behismasterpiece@gmail.com. I hope that this was helpful, and as always, be his masterpiece. Bye everyone.